Welcome to the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. We're in Manhattan, Kansas, inside a nearly sold-out Bramlage Coliseum on a beautiful Friday afternoon where the hosts, the number 4 seed Kansas State, will face the number 13 seed, the West Coast Conference Tournament champ, Portland Pilots. Well, we're part of Regional 2 in Albany where Iowa and Caitlin Clark, the number 1 seed, the winner of our game will play the winner of Colorado Drake coming up next. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us, along with Women's Basketball Hall of Famer Holly Warlick. I'm Brenda Van Lingen. Well, Kansas State is a number 4 seed, but they were ranked as high as number 2 in the country, and that's when their All-American center, Ayoka Lee, went out for an ankle surgery. She's been back for 6 games, and she's at that All-American level.
Yeah, Brenda, Ayoka Lee's a space eater in the lane. She devours the paint. She comes in, she has a great pivot move. She's strong, she's physical, she loves to stay in the paint, and she can take 2 or 3 people with her. She's a great defender. She's one of the best dominating post players in the country. And then against her is Lucy Cochran. She's a shot blocker. She's long, she's lanky, she makes things happen inside, and she is the 3rd leading shot blocker in the country.
And Cochran has led the West Coast Conference in blocking shots the last 3 years, but against Ayoka Lee, she's going against a player that is the only player in the country averaging over 20 points a game and shooting 62%. So we are looking forward to this big-on-big matchup today in Manhattan. And they are ready in the Octagon of Doom here in Manhattan, Kansas. Everybody's taking Friday afternoon off in the Little Apple for this one. And we're ready to go as Kansas State in their white jerseys go right inside to Ayoka Lee. And who else did you expect to get the ball? Well, today our starting lineups are brought to you by Capital One as we take a look at the Portland Pilots. Emmy Shearer, all WCC first team selection. Maisie Burnham is an second team selection. Kennedy Dickey was the most outstanding player of the tournament. And on the first possession, Ayoka Lee already picking up her first foul.
Exactly what we thought. No hesitation. You go to your star player, your All-American, easy bucket.
So it sends Maisie Burnham to the free throw line. 6-foot junior guard out of Spangle, Washington. And she goes and gets her own rebound of a missed free throw, but then travels. And the full court pressure from Portland, that's what we're expecting as we look at the starting lineups presented by Capital One for Kansas State. Jalen Glenn and Briley Glenn, the twin sisters, along with Serena Sundell. They've been starting 3 years in a row together. Ayoka Lee inside, and how about that, Jalen Glenn with a 3-pointer for Kansas State.
Yeah, Kansas State really calm, very deliberate, broke the press, went down, skipped the ball, got an easy look for a 3.
Portland's point guard, Mikkel Meek, the daughter of the head coach, Michael Meek, for the Pilots. She's got the ball there. As she is a distributor on this team that has a lot of scores. That one too far for Emmy Shearer.
Gosh, just Ayoka Lee buries. Great job of early position. Buries in the paint. Brenda, she makes it look so easy.
And that's just what this crowd wanted to see. Ayoka Lee doing work early here for the Wildcats. They're up 7-0. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Ball movement. Let's win the middle of the floor. Win the middle of the floor. Attack the rim and attack the glass with 3. Everybody got it? All right, let's have a good warm-up. Here we go.
That is Jeff Mittie, the head coach for Kansas State in his 10th year. Their win total this year, 6 more wins over last year when Aoka Lee was out for the entire season with a knee injury. But what a start as she's gotten the ball a couple of times inside early. Kansas State up 7-0 over the number 13 seed Portland. They go inside to Kennedy Dickey, who banks it in after the timeout.
Right, and I like that. It was a set play, drove to the basket, and then you see Portland jumping immediately into their full-court press.
And attacking the rim is exactly what Jeff Mittie was talking to his team about. Briley Glenn, they're able to draw the foul from Shearer.
Shooting 2 for KCA, number 5, Briley Glenn.
When we talked to Jeff Mittie a little bit yesterday, Holly, you asked him about this Portland press and if he was concerned about it. The one thing he said that he liked about it is that it forces you to be aggressive, and that's exactly what we saw coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, and he said he got used to it. West Virginia in his conference, Big 12, presses a lot as well, so they were prepared for it. And he said that the press tends to make his players more aggressive, and he wants his players to be aggressive and attack the basket.
Portland out of the West Coast Conference, go inside to Cochran. So out of the timeout from Michael Meek, a couple of scores on this end of the court.
Yeah, really smart. Going inside, Cochran just is long and lanky, able to get the bucket.
A foul called on Mikkel Meek. That's head coach Mike Meek. Back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances for the Pilots as they knocked off Gonzaga. They actually ended Gonzaga's 24-game winning streak by beating them in the final. What's even more remarkable is Gonzaga had just beaten them 90-40 in the regular season, and they came back and beat them in the WCC tournament final. Another whistle and a foul on the Pilots. This time it's on Kennedy Dickey. That's her first foul.
Well, you think of K-State and you think that they're a three-point shooting team, but they're really good at attacking the basket, and if they don't get Lee inside in the paint, they want to attack, and then if you help, they'll kick out for threes.
So it sends Serena Sundell to the free throw line. All Big 12 first-team point guard. Has so much on her shoulders. She's shooting as a guard, Holly, almost 54% from the field.
Yeah, we watched her. I watched her as a freshman, and to see her, I didn't see her last year. To see her now, how her growth, her body has changed, her mental game has developed. She's just become a really special player.
And so a violation called on Lucy Cochran, so it gives Sundell another free throw attempt, and you don't want to do that for Sundell as she connects on that.
Portland's really good spreading the floor. They're going to go through there. They're going to pull. See how they're pulling Aoka Lee out away from the basket.
Burnham has it get away from her as Briley Glenn, one of the best defenders for Kansas State, is all over her, and 15 seconds on the shot clock. Tipped away by Glenn. That's some of the length of the Glenn sisters. Both 6'1" at those wing positions. They love to get out and really disrupt.
I love that they play. You're playing with your sister, so you can. I don't know if you take it home, you get mad at her and don't throw her the ball. I hope that's not the case, but
8 seconds on the shot clock. Meek from 3, no, and Sundell there to clean it up.
Yeah, K-State's lucky they went under the screen and Meek got a good, solid look.
Kansas State finished 3rd in the Big 12 in the regular season. They beat West Virginia in the quarterfinals of the Big 12 championship and lost to Texas, the eventual champions, in the semifinals. And Sundell with a three-pointer.
Yeah, offensive rebounds are really end up being points for the offense. Portland did a great job on defense. Just got to keep them off the boards.
5 points now for Sundell. Ananiev the freshman from Australia. A lot of players from Australia and New Zealand, 6 of them to be exact on this Portland team. High post drive to the bucket, Sundell.
Boy, K-State is just taking what Portland, their defense, is giving them.
7 points now for Sundell. Hasn't missed a shot on a couple of field goals, including a three-pointer and free throws. She's perfect from the floor. Cochran pulling out and missing. Lee there with the rebound.
I like that offense, the floor spread. Cochran has that ability to shoot 15 feet out.
Gabby Gregory, no. She kind of broke out of her slump in the Big 12 championship. She had some really good three-point shooting days in the quarterfinals and the semifinals. Misses that one. Kiana Hamilton, number 25, the redshirt senior out of California, into the game. Shot clock winding down, 6 seconds. Cochran. Aoka Lee came out on her. The shot clock is winding down. And that will be a shot clock violation for the Wildcats.
A nice series. And Brittany Cochran has that range. She has a three-point range. She shot the three. She's going to have to shoot that, at least get a shot off. They don't want a shot clock violation.
So after the timeout, Portland came out and scored 2 baskets, but since then, Kansas State on a 7-0 run.
And this is where Portland can get you with their full court press. They're really, really solid. They're going to make K-State work the entire floor.
But Hamilton picks up the foul. That's 4 team fouls in the quarter for the Pilots. Over the top to Sundell. Sundell pushing it in. And it's been all Serena Sundell here in the early going for Kansas State.
Yeah, it's a Sundell show. Yeah, when you're denying, they just threw it long and Sundell just attacked the basket, had a little spin move and an and-one play.
Serena Sundell at the line. Aoka Lee going to catch a breather as Eliza Maupin, the 6'4" sophomore, subs in for her. The foul was on Ryan Mogul, a freshman for the Portland Pilots. And so since Aoka Lee is going out, we also see Lucy Cochran going out for the Pilots. Sundell misses that, but she's scored the last 9 points for the Wildcats.
I think you've jinxed Sundell a little bit.
That was her first miss. There's Maupin. Maupin played a very important role for Kansas State when Aoka Lee went out for those 7 games with the ankle injury, the surgery on her ankle. Maupin played some very valuable minutes for Kansas State and almost gets that offensive rebound, but instead Portland comes away with it. Natalie Fraley, number 10, into the game.
Portland, great job. They want to run. They want to score quick. They want to score fast. They want to get out in a...
Kansas State up big early here at home in Manhattan. Here's a look at Portland's Fueling the Run, brought to you by Wendy's. In the WCC title game, there were 23 lead changes until Emmy Shearer hit a three-pointer to give Portland a 67-64 lead, and then a missed shot from Gonzaga as a layup and a missed three, and Portland upset Gonzaga 67-66 for the second year in a row, advancing to the NCAA tournament. It's been amazing as we talk to Coach Michael Meek. They're 0-10 against Gonzaga in the regular season in his tenure, but 3-0 in the WCC tournament.
If you're going to peak, you peak in your tournament, and that's what they've done. And wow, what a game. Hit big shots, Brenda. They had to hit big shots, and then they came up with a big stop at the end.
So last year they won. They went to the NCAA tournament. In the first round, they played another Big 12 team. They played Oklahoma. That was out at UCLA. that learned a lot in that game, but need to get their scoring going here as the shot clock is winding down once again. 3 on the clock, 2, and another violation, another stop for the Wildcat defense.
Yeah, Portland's spreading the floor. They're attacking. At times they get good looks, but man, K-State's defense is really closing in on the paint. Portland's going to have to hit some outside shots.
Gabby Gregory puts the ball on the floor, ducks underneath for her first basket of the game.
Nice. Portland is really smothering the ball, and great job by Gabby Gregory attacking the basket.
Tough shot by Natalie Fraley. Kansas State is one of the best defensive teams in the Big 12, and since Aoka Lee back from last year where she took the year off, almost 10 points better this year and #1 in the Big 12.
Well, if you have a big inside, the presence of a big inside, you can make some, you can have turnover. I mean, you can cause turnovers, and you can kind of not be a great defender, but she's going to help you. She's got your back in the lane.
So that's the second foul on Kennedy Dickey. She committed the offensive foul on the other end. Nice pass, but a beautiful block. There's the shot blocking from Cochran.
There's Lucy Cochran. Just get it out of here.
Nice pass, and Fraley misses another one at the rim.
I don't think she hardly jumped either. She's got long arms. Great timing on her jump.
Gabby Gregory, no. And then Eliza Maupin going to pick up a foul. Let's look at Cochran's block shot again.
Yeah, just closes in. Not even close with the body, and just times it really, really well. That's where those long, lanky arms come into play.
She has the career block shot record for Portland. She came into this game with 270. And that's just a remarkable number. She's 3rd in Division I in blocks per game, but she only averages 1 foul a game.
Yeah, wow. You got to love that as a coach. Go for it.
Aoka Lee checked back into the game along with Gisela Sanchez. So some size in the lineup for K-State. Burnham missing that one. Nice offensive rebound and put back by Shearer.
Yeah, I like the opportunity they get for a three-point shot. And then again, offensive rebounds lead normally to buckets.
Shearer is the leading scorer on the team for Portland, averaging over 12 points a game. And she is the leader of this team. Sanchez commits didn't commit a travel. It's actually a 3-second call on Aoka Lee.
Huh. Well, Lee was posting up, and I thought he was going to call a displacement of her defender. So it's probably good. Lee gets a turnover instead of a foul.
Yeah, she already picked up that first foul on the first defensive possession as they post up Shearer. Burnham looking for somewhere to go. Great defense from Walker.
Yeah, every shot that Portland is able to take has just really been contested.
5 turnovers now for Portland. Baseline shot, no. See if Portland can get a little offense going here at the end of the first quarter. Cochran steps back. He's strong.
Yeah, I like that look. I like that look. I think she can hit that shot. Keeps Lee in the paint.
And there's Lee going to work. And a foul on Cochran. That's just her first, but Aoka Lee will go to the free throw line.
Yeah. Here's textbook. Aoka Lee does her work before the ball gets her. You hear somebody say they're buried in the paint. You just put her defender under the basket, catches, and makes it look simple. Just turn around to the basket score.
4-time all Big 12 first team. The only other players in Kansas State history, Nicole Oldie and Kendra Wecker. Both of their banners are hanging in the rafters here at Bramlage Coliseum as Lee makes both free throws. She's #1 all-time in block shots. There's Wecker and Oldie's banners. But she is all-time career leader in block shots, in rebound. She's #3 on the scoring list, Aoka Lee. And she still has, if she chooses to come back, another year to play. As that one gets knocked out of bounds. We haven't heard yet from Aoka Lee whether or not she's going to come back for a 5th year.
Well, I'm sure Coach Mitty, after this season, is going to let her have a lot of time off
to think
clear
about it.
your head and make your decision.
You saw the banner. She holds the record, the NCAA record for points in a game. She had 61 points last year against Oklahoma. Holly Warlick and I were here to witness it.
It was phenomenal. She made it look easy.
And how about that for a pass? The freshman Taryn Sides throws it inside to Sanchez.
Okay, so not only Aoka Lee can be inside, Sanchez can get it done.
Meek comes off the handoff, and a foul committed by Sides will send Mikkel Meek to the free throw line.
Yeah, and just a great save, and came just off the screen from Lee, an easy inside bucket.
Nice hustle by Sanchez.
Yeah.
She saved it in, and then she went over to the other side to be available.
Loved it.
Mikkel Meek at the free throw line. Of course, her dad is the head coach. In high school, she was a part of 2 state championship teams and was the Oregon 6A State Player of the Year out of Beaverton, Oregon. And we talked to Coach about his relationship with Mikkel on the court, and he said, you know, whatever her role is, she has accepted it. And the first couple of years, she didn't play a lot until there was an injury, and she moved into the starting lineup. Haley Andrews had an injury last year. That's when she stepped in to be the point guard.
Well, I asked him, is it hard coaching your daughter? I mean, where is that line drawn? And he said she's a competitor like myself, and she's just done a great job of stepping in, plays her role, does whatever the team needs her to do.
We have a stoppage in play. There is a clock issue as they're taking 0.3 of a second off. Our officials today, Michael McConnell, Teresa Turner, who you see there, and Mark Merritt, making sure every 1/10 of a second is important in the NCAA tournament.
It matters.
It matters. And a
great
steal. Nice job stepping in by Emmy Shearer, and then Sanchez picked up the foul.
And so that's what Portland does. They're not looking at the score. They just want to press you. They want to get easy buckets. And so what they do now, they get a possession. They have a chance to convert this turnover into points.
Well, Kansas State only has 2 turnovers so far, but this is a team in Portland that forces almost 20 turnovers per game. Nice backdoor pass to set up Emmy Shearer.
Perfect play when you're getting overplayed. You just go backdoor, and the inbounder saw it, made the play. Great pass, easy look.
And a foul called on number 20, Lainey Spear, 6'2" freshman in the game. And Kansas State is in the bonus, so it will send Ziona Walker to the free throw line.
Substitution for Portland, number 2.
Ananiev into the game for Portland. Walker, the redshirt freshman who transferred from Louisville out of Wichita, Kansas, at the free throw line. Well, for the 4th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. And we might already had a bracket buster earlier today talking about Louisville. That's where Walker transferred from. Middle Tennessee State with a win over Louisville earlier today.
Yeah, and Louisville was cruising along. They were up early, and Middle was struggling a little bit to score, settled in, and that's a big win for Middle Tennessee State program. Upsets. That's what the brackets are about, brother.
That's right. You never know.
Did it bust your bracket?
Well, I did miss that one, so I wouldn't say it's broken completely. Shot clock is off as Portland trying to get a score here at the end of the first quarter. 5 seconds on the clock. It's swatted away by Glenn. Retrieving it, Burnham had a hard time, and a turnover at the end of the quarter. Great defense from Kansas State. The Wildcats with a great first quarter here in Manhattan as they lead the Portland Pilots 25-10. And now for today's Need to Know, brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Well, here's what you need to know. You need to know that Gappy Goat is a real thing. 3 consecutive defensive stops for Kansas State is a gap. They want to try to get 7 or more gaps per game. When they do that, they're actually 16-0 on the year. And everybody loves Gappy the Goat. And he even wrote a little letter for people to get out of class or work this afternoon. We've got our own Gappy Goats here, and it's just really caught on fire here in Manhattan. It's a really great crowd participation thing when they get 3 stops in a row. Everybody's cheering, everybody's holding their goats. As Portland, that's not a stop there at the start of the second quarter.
Well, you know, the crowd loves anything free. So they want a goat. So they want the Wildcats defense to get them a Gabby Goat.
And Gabby Gregory, not Gappy Gregory, but Gabby Gregory, she's actually the one that chose the goat because Jeff Mittie came to her and Serena Sundell and Aoka Lee at the beginning of the year and said, hey, I want to do something to motivate and inspire the team to get more defensive stops. And it was actually Gabby Gregory that came up with the idea for a goat because she really likes goats.
Well, good for her. Well, everybody, K-State fans, love goats.
That's an ag school,
Love it.
sure.
I just love it because you don't generally think of K-State as a defensive team. You think of what they just did, playing inside the paint, shooting threes, and they're really solid on the defensive end.
Another three-pointer. And, you know, that is one of the things we talked about Kansas State. You may not think of them as a defensive team, but some of their numbers are the best in the Big 12 as Kiana Hamilton drives in. And Portland with a little rhythm here in the early going in the second quarter.
Well, I love Portland's just going to keep pressing, keep trying to cause turnovers, keep trying. So their turnovers want to get easy buckets, and that's their game. That's their game plan.
Nice look inside for Kennedy Dickey, who just hasn't been able to really get going. She's got 2 points. She was the most outstanding player in the West Coast Conference tournament, the transfer from San Francisco.
I think Dickey's gotten good looks. They're just not falling right now.
Go inside to Jalen Glenn, to Sundell, looking for Maupin. Got it.
Great ball movement. Just unselfish play. Ball movement, player movement. Gets you an easy bucket.
Coach Meek shouting out instructions to the team as the shot clock winds down. Portland has already had a couple of shot clock violations here in the early going. Top of the key, Hamilton misses everything. Gabby Gregory, nice crossover. Sanchez from the free throw line. And Gabby Gregory couldn't get her hands on it.
Substitution for K-State, number 5.
K-State, what great ball movement. They go side to side. They go inside and then cut, penetrate right here, and then kick inside to Maupin, making it look easy. I love it. This floor is spread. Everybody's participating. That's just beautiful basketball. 9
assists on 11 made field goals for Kansas State. That's something they do well, is share the basketball. They assist on 68% of their made shots typically. Portland has not been able to hit a three-pointer. They're 0 for 5. Let's see if I gave them the opposite jinx. Did not. They're 0 for 6 from three-point range. They usually make about 6 three-pointers a game. Turnover for K-State.
And they constantly pursue the basketball on the defensive end.
Jalen Glenn forces a turnover.
Yeah, you got to go inside the Lee right here.
Over the top in between two defenders, and a foul going to be called before the shot. So it was called on Hamilton, and that's her second foul.
First team foul. Substitution for Portland.
Yeah, Lee had a little guard on her. You got to look up and just go. You could have moved it around, and anyone could have chosen to throw it in.
Briley Glenn picks up her dribble. Somebody needs to help her out. Hamilton almost stole it, but it's out of bounds on Portland. 15 on the shot clock.
I love Portland's effort. They just try to grind it out, try to make you take a bad shot and go to the other end.
Lee gets her own rebound, and there were 3 defenders around her. She still got it up, missed it, but was fouled.
Portland foul on number 2.
That's just staying with your shot.
First personal foul. Second team foul.
And that's on Maisie Burnham. So Aoka Lee, 2-time All-American, one of the top 15 players on the Wooden Award ballot this year, 4-time All-Big 12 first-teamer.
I love her size. I love her footwork. She's quick, got great hands. If you're a guard, you want to play with her. You can throw the ball anywhere in that area, and she's going to get it.
So she's 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 8 points and a couple rebounds already. And Portland with some work to do. In and out for Natalie Fraley.
Good look.
And a good steal from Burnham, anticipating, cuts between a couple of defenders, and it gets the layup.
Nice. Just great anticipation, jumped in the passing lane. Defense led to a quick, easy score.
And another turnover for the Wildcats, and they've got numbers. Fraley almost had that one get away, but kept her hand on top of it.
Yeah. Gets the crowd a little anxious.
Ryan Mogul picks up her dribble in the paint. And Glenn almost gets a hand on it, but instead, Briley Glenn commits the foul.
That's a tough call. Look to me, the official was behind the play, but it's a call that's going to stand.
You're not going to overturn it?
We may have to call Lisa Mattingly in to discuss that.
Lisa Mattingly is standing by. Our rules analyst is available for games. We're so excited about that. We have such respect and admiration for Lisa Mattingly.
Great official and has done a great job in coordinating.
And a great pass there to set up Meek. A nice backdoor cut from Mikkel Meek.
Right. Getting pressure, cut back door, relieve the pressure.
And Sundell putting pressure on the defense. She's fouled, and she'll be at the free throw line when we come back. Kansas State up 34-18. All right, thanks, Kelsey. We appreciate it. And yeah, Lee with only 3 field goal attempts, but it's been Sundell that's really picked it up. She's got 12 points on the day as she's at the free throw line. And just really balanced scoring, Holly.
Yeah, they're doing so many things exceptionally well. Paint points, attacking on the drive. They're hitting open threes. And Nikki's right. Very unselfish play, moving the basketball and getting great. Brenda, they hadn't taken a bad shot yet.
Yeah, shooting 55% from the field. And then Walker picks up a foul. That's her first.
Second team.
20 on the shot clock. Meek triggers it in. There's Lee defending Cochran out on the perimeter. She gets back screen. Well, they could have had Cochran there.
Yeah, they're just a little hesitant. Why? Because there's great ball pressure. They can't see to throw the ball inside.
Lee with another rebound. She's got 3 so far. Sundell looking over to Walker. Gabby Gregory with a nice cut in the score.
Great cut. See, the ball went side to side, and it just makes the defense scramble. Nice cut.
Nice backdoor cut and basket by Ananiev. Let's look back at the passing.
Yeah, just ball to side. Ball came from one side. Great cut in the middle. The lane is wide open. You've got three-point shooters. Cut in the lane. It's okay to get a 2.
Foul committed by Gregory sends Diani Ananiev, the freshman out of Australia. She was on the all-WCC freshman team, averages over 8 points a game as she's the leading scorer off the bench for Portland. Riley Glenn and Cochran there for the rebound. Boy, you see the long arms of Cochran there. Wow.
I would adjust my shot too.
That's just her first rebound of the game, though. And they stopped play because it looks like Riley Glenn got popped in the nose.
Yeah.
And as they take care of that, we've got some information to share with you. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship first round continues tonight on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. For more information on tournament game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. Some upsets there, too.
Yeah, pretty much. If you love basketball, just every channel has basketball on it.
That's right. It's that time of year.
Love it.
So Riley Glenn being tended to. Aoka Lee missing that one. I think that time Cochran made it a little tough for her.
Absolutely. I really would like to see Cochran come up, and I'd like to see her take Lee off the dribble. Pull her away from the basket a little bit and attack her. Try to get her in foul trouble right here. Go to the basket.
6 on the shot clock now. Meek using the screen from Cochran. Cochran steps back. The three-pointer short from Ananiev. And Burnham is fouled as she tracks down the rebound. I believe that's on Jalen Glenn. That's her first.
Yeah, and Portland, great ball movement. Got deep into the shot clock. Brought Cochran out to screen. Cochran pops and then hits a three-point shooter.
And a foul called on Jalen Glenn after you saw Riley Glenn on the sideline with a bloody nose. Jalen Glenn, that's her second foul. The twin sisters from right down I-70 in Kansas City, Missouri. They have been 3-year starters for Kansas State.
We've just watched them grow up. Brent, I love what Portland, they threw the ball in quick. K-State wasn't ready. Picked up a quick foul.
Burnham at the free throw line, averages almost 12 points a game, makes both free throws. She gets to the free throw line more than anybody on this Portland Pilots team. And when you make a free throw, you can pick up in full court pressure.
Yeah, and they're going to do that. And you got to get, worst place to get it is in the corner. And Portland does a great job of directing you down in that corner. They're going to try to wear you down, and this is their game. Full court defense. They're not going to get tired. They're just going to get after it.
So Kansas State has led the entire game. They've led by as many as 20 as Walker goes all the way to the rim. Portland got it back within 13 until that basket.
That's pretty much how you beat a press. One-woman wrecking crew.
Dickey still only with 2 points. She averages double figures per game along with Shearer and Burnham. Meek forcing that one a little bit. Oh, and Meek just steps in. May have gotten away with a double dribble there.
Yeah.
But steals it as she came from behind. Under 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. There's Dickey.
She's just get it. The ball's not going in for her right now. Getting really solid looks. She just got to hang in there. It's going to fall.
Sanchez straight away. And Sundell just goes and grabs the rebound, and then Shearer steps in and commits the foul. That's her second.
And Sanchez, Brenda, she's open. Either you got to shoot it or pass it. You can't second guess yourself or you're going to miss the shot. She's hesitated just a little.
Sanchez averages about 6 points a game for K-State off the bench. Kansas State finished third in the Big 12 Conference this year as Gabby Gregory draws a foul. This is a team in Kansas State that early in Big 12 play, they had big wins here over Oklahoma and Texas at home. They were first in the conference for a while, but then with Aoka Lee out with the surgery, she came back after 7 games. They kind of stumbled a little bit down the stretch, but you can see what a quality team this is.
It is, and turn that into a positive. You learn how to play without your big inside. Second
Most assists in a season for K-State this year. Aoka Lee, the only player with over 20 points and 62% from the field. They lost to Texas in the semifinals, but boy, made a great game of it. And remember, we are in the Albany 2 regional, and Iowa's the #1 seed, and this Kansas State team beat Iowa earlier this year and beat them last year. Now, Iowa turned around and beat them on a neutral court, but just something to keep in mind in this regional.
Keep it in mind.
Lee misses that shot. She's been held to just 8 points by this Portland Pilots defense. Good work inside, but Burnham can't get it to fall, and it'll stay on this end.
Yeah, we'll bring it back to Lee. She hasn't had to score a lot. The perimeter, they're hitting open shots, they're attacking the basket, they're getting layups, they're going to the free throw line. So she hasn't been used a whole lot, but hasn't been needed.
Yeah, they're led by Serena Sundell with 12 points. Lee has 8. But 8 different players have scored for Kansas State.
Nice.
Good cut by Ananiev, the freshman.
Great ball movement. Just reading what the defense gives you and taking it.
Ananiev gets her hands on that one with her length. And a chance for Portland here if they want to take the last shot of the half. Hamilton decides to fire it up and hits a 3. This is the closest that Portland has been in a while, and that's the first 3-pointer. Gabby Gregory, as time is winding down, short, and a little rally here for the Portland Pilots as they were down by as many as 20 points, but they draw within 12 at the half. Kansas State leading 40-28 here in Manhattan. Now let's go to the studio for the Dove in the Studio halftime report. Welcome back to the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. We're in Manhattan, Kansas, or some call it Manhappiness. And it's been a lot of happy for Kansas State so far as they are up 40-28 at the half. Welcome back along with Hall of Famer Holly Warlick. I'm Brenda Van Lingen. So Kansas State early was able to build up a lead. Portland cut into it. What did Kansas State do well early?
It's all about ball movement.
All about ball movement. It's that simple as we take a look at our most reliable team, brought to you by Xfinity.
And so K-State does a great job. They go side to side. They put the ball in the middle, cut to the basket. Then there's another cut. What does that do? That leads to easy buckets, high percentage shots.
And they were
another. Yeah, and then Sundell, she's been spectacular. She's hit the 3. She drives the basketball. She's directed her team. Solid defense. She's put on a performance.
Let's take a look at our game track brought to you by Invesco QQQ. As Kansas State, 10 of their 13 field goals made have been assisted. Serena Sundell leading the way with 12. But Portland ended on a 14-6 run, and that has allowed them to close the gap to 12. And what does Kansas State do out of the halftime locker room? They go right inside to Aoka Lee, who now has 10 points.
Money. She just easy, high percentage shot. Money player.
But she hadn't hit a field goal in the second quarter. She was 0 for 3. Portland had clamped down a little bit defensively. And you can see how big of a priority that is for Kansas State as she gets the first touch. Cochran, first touch for Portland, but she's short on that one.
And I think Portland's really done a good job of ball pressure, so it hasn't allowed easy passes into Lee.
And there's some pressure around Lee. 3 defenders to not allow her to catch the ball, but then the foul called on Shearer.
Yeah, you think she draws a lot of attention. 3 players going for. If she'd have come up the line a little bit, may have been a steal, but yeah, she got her on.
So Shearer, that's her 3rd foul. Sundell inside to Lee, got another one.
I think in the locker room, Jeff Mitty said, we're getting the ball inside.
And you can
He's
see,
happy about it.
Exactly. He's like, he told us when they're having trouble scoring, which this Portland team outscored them 18-15 in the second quarter. The answer for Kansas State is get the ball to your All-American, which
Absolutely.
is what they've done on the first couple of possessions. Jalen Glenn now picks up her 3rd foul. So already a couple of players in foul trouble with Emmy Shearer with the 3 fouls. There's another foul picked up this time by Briley Glenn. That's her 2nd. And Burnham will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, nice play. Just throws it inside and gets an easy look and an and one. And look, this Portland team is not going to back down because this free throw leads them into their pressure defense.
Burnham, a 2-time West Coast Conference 2nd team selection. And one of the very steady players for this team. She's got 4 points today. And then a foul called on Mikkel Meek in the backcourt. That's her 2nd.
Second personal foul. 2nd team foul.
Sundell puts it on the floor, a little floater. Aoka Lee tries to keep it alive. Nice rebound by Burnham.
Dickey's doing a great job of working inside.
Gabby Gregory picked up her 2nd foul, holding inside. And Portland will inbound it from the baseline.
Portland does a great job of scoring from the out-of-bounds plays. A lot of movement.
And there they just put it right there. Beautiful play, beautiful pass to set up Shearer.
Just misdirections.
So Kansas State goes inside to Aoka Lee, and the foul called on Cochran. Let's look at that last inbound.
Yeah, well, it happened so quick we couldn't even talk about it. So it just a misdirection, going one way and getting the defense to shift and hitting it on the backside.
So Lee misses the free throw. This is the closest that Portland has been in this game since they were down by 10 when it was 14-4. Kansas State had built up a lead to 20 points, and Portland has caused some disruption. They've forced some turnovers. They've gotten some scores at the rim, and they have chipped away at this Kansas State lead.
It's all about turnovers for Portland.
Nice pass inside to Burnham. That ball had eyes, and then they force another turnover.
They're pulling Lee away from the basket.
Burnham sneaks away inside, and it's a single-digit game.
Yeah, Portland they're just relentless on the ball. Quick hands, quick feet.
Burnham now in double figures for Portland with 11 points. And then Briley Glenn with the drive. She'll go to the free throw line.
And so you see Burnham just slips that screen, makes it, gets an easy look, and then just attacks the basket, challenges the defense in the paint.
And Emmy Shearer on that last play picked up her 4th foul, and she will have to go to the bench. She is the leader on this team, according to Michael Meek. She leads the team in scoring. She's all West Coast Conference first team, and she just picked up her 4th foul on the drive to the basket from Briley Glenn. Glenn only made 1 of 2 free throws.
And Shearer's their best defender. We'll see how that plays out.
Nice post up from Meek, and then Gabby Gregory hooks Meek. Excuse me, that was, I believe, Dickey that was posting up, so 3rd foul on Gregory.
Hey, again, they're pulling Cochran away, so they're pulling Lee away from the basket, and they're throwing high-low to Dickey, trying to post up the guards, trying to get some easy looks.
All right, the last time Portland inbounded it here, they had a wide-open layup. Better defended this time by K-State. And Sundell steps in and steals it.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Sundell blocked by Ananiev. Wow, the length of this 6'1" freshman is impressive.
Yeah, Ananiev, just great timing. Lets her go by. Great timing, hits the top of the ball.
Aoka Lee triple teamed. Out to Gregory, got it.
Yeah, so when you're triple team, you got to kick it out to your three-point shooter, and Gregory delivers.
First three-pointer of the game for Gabby Gregory. And it gives Kansas State a double-digit lead. Well, a lot of whistles in this game as Walker picks up the foul, her 2nd. But let's take a look back at that triple team and the kick out to Gregory.
Yeah, you don't think Portland's worried about Lee. Kicks it out to an open Gregory, and bam, takes care of it.
So we're at the 6:27 mark in the 3rd quarter, and Kansas State's already committed 5 team fouls in the quarter, and Portland 4 team fouls as Hamilton makes that free throw.
Well, we talked about the adjustment. Jeff Mitty made, Coach Meek, what did he do? He's not hitting, he's missing, attacking the basket, so he's posting up the guards, pulling Lee out, having the bigs throw the ball in, and this resulted in getting 2 shots at the free throw line.
Hamilton able to keep her concentration, even though the Wildcats moved someone in and off the lane in between her free throws, and she made both of them. The transfer from Long Beach State, and a turnover for the Wildcats.
Yeah, defensive hands are up. You can't throw over. You got to go around with the ball, with the dribble.
Too high for Dickey, and a turnover for Portland. Portland is playing their best basketball of the year, and they're on the road here on the Wildcats' home court because the Wildcats are the number 4 seed. But when Coach Meek talked after the WCC conference tournament, they went on a run. They knocked off Gonzaga, who had won 24 games in a row. He said, we're playing our best basketball right now.
And great time to play your best basketball.
Cochran gets called for the foul as Aoka Lee kind of ducks under her, and that's the 3rd foul on Cochran.
Well, they finally beat the press. They threw over the press, and what do? Lee just buries her. Shoots under, draws the foul. Lee probably, she did a great job of drawing that foul.
You know, and Cochran, we mentioned this in the first half, only averages 1 foul per game, typically. But she hasn't ever had to defend someone like Aoka Lee, as Lee makes both free throws, and Cochran has 3 fouls now. And
Cochran's done a solid job against it. That's a hard task.
For a lot of people, for everybody that tries to guard her.
Absolutely.
And a travel on Anania.
Yeah, she said she didn't see it, but Coach Meek agreed with it.
Yeah, she drug her foot.
I couldn't see. The official was in but my partner saw it, so we're good.
That's right. We're a team. Over the top to Sundell. Double team, a trap, and then a turnover on Sundell, and the fans here at Bramlage don't like that.
Yeah. It's a physical game. It's physical. They're going to knock you off your path, and credit Portland. Their defense is solid.
The post up inside, and it gets knocked away. Remember, both teams are in the bonus, so any fouls called now will send each team to the free throw line. Gabby Gregory, a little up and under. No. Lee gets the rebound, knocks it in off the backboard. What are you going to do with that?
She's at the rim. A little putback.
Aoka Lee now with 17 points. She had 8 at halftime.
Yeah,
nice move inside by Hamilton.
Great job. And what does the score do? Immediately they jump into their press.
And a timeout called by Jeff Mitty, and then a couple of players got tangled up on the floor. The official's going to step in and make sure everything okay. Well, Aoka Lee with just 8 points in the first half. She's got 17 here in the second half. Got a big one on an offensive board and putback, and K-State up by 12.
Well, the Portland Pilots are being relentless in the full court press. K-State's breaking it, but then they continue, and this is what you shouldn't do. Pick up the ball. They're just swarming the ball and causing Jess Mitty to use a timeout.
And after Kansas State got out to a 25-10 lead after the first quarter, Portland has outscored them since then. They outscored the Wildcats 18-15 in the second quarter, and it's all tied up 13-13 here in the third quarter. So the Pilots, after taking that initial punch, have played really well here on Kansas State's home court.
You know, Coach Meade's done a great job of adjusting. You take what the defense gives you. Right now, he's posting up his guards.
Riley Glenn short from the corner. Portland, in their non-conference schedule, they challenge themselves by playing teams from the Pac-12 like Oregon and Stanford. And so when we talked to Coach Meek about his scheduling, he said, you know, a lot of teams won't always play us, but we appreciate that Stanford would play us. It helps make us better.
Yeah, I'd be a little nervous taking my team out to Portland to play on his home court.
The shot was blocked by Sundell and deflected inside. Fraley turns it over.
Great hands.
And Glenn commits an offensive foul. Riley Glenn, as Burnham drew the charge.
Yeah, so K-State attacks the basket, and what do they do? Get a charge. Great position. Yeah, that's a charge. You can't do that.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Everybody excited here at Bramlage Coliseum. It looked like Kansas State was going to just run away with this game in the early going, but Portland has used their defense to get back in, and this is a Portland team that has won the West Coast Conference Tournament the last 2 years in a row, 3 times in the last 5 years, and they have gained some confidence in their play and adjusting after the first quarter, being down to Kansas State. They've been playing well here as of late.
Yeah, then it all starts with their defense.
A nice pass to Cochran, can't get it to go. And here come the Wildcats.
I love the play, I love the option. Just wouldn't go.
Knocked out of bounds by Hamilton, good hustle. 24 on the shot clock for Kansas State. Lee up over Cochran. Cochran again bothering the shot from Aoka Lee.
Yeah, Portland jumped into a little matchup zone there, so just trying to change it up.
Hamilton driving, has it deflected. It'll stay here, 15 on the shot clock.
Yeah, great help side team defense came over and totally took away the drive to the basket. So you see, gets beat, there's the help. That's solid.
Hamilton misses, and keep in mind, Emmy Shearer, the leading scorer for Portland on the year, is on the bench with 4 fouls. So they've gotten some key contributions from Hamilton.
Well, you got to adjust, and so you got to find ways to score. And Portland's done a great job. They're posting up their guards. They're looking high-low and trying to get their three-point shooting right now from an and one.
So Burnham picked up her 3rd foul. Oh boy, that one just got away from Serena Sundell. That's what you should do, right? If you have something like that happen, walk away from the free throw line, smile,
wipe your hands off.
That's right.
Shoot it underhanded. She'll make this one. Oh,
overcompensated, but there was a lane violation.
Good.
And now Sundell walks all the way back to half court to get her thoughts
Okay,
together.
Here she goes. I'm not jinxing her.
She's missed her last 4 free throws in a row, even though she started out so hot. She had 12 points at halftime and hasn't scored here in the 3rd quarter. But she gets that. Yeah, Sundell's one of those players that isn't easily rattled.
No.
So it just took a moment for her to catch her breath after that.
She's still smiling about it.
Like, I just did that on national television.
She just said oops.
In the NCAA tournament. Yeah. 13-point lead for Kansas State. Cochran bringing Lee out away from the basket. Walker jumps to the passing lane. Behind her back, between a couple of defenders, decides better of it.
Smart. Didn't have numbers and just didn't want to possibly draw a charge.
And Gabby Gregory is fouled by Mikkel Meek. That's her 3rd, and since we're in the bonus, Gregory will go to the free throw line.
And you see K-State struggle a little bit. What are they doing, posting their guards up now as well?
Gabby Gregory at the free throw line. But for the 4th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships, as Gabby Gregory makes the 2nd of 2 free throws to put K-State up by 14.
I know the score's 14. This game feels like it's so much closer.
Kansas State has led the entire game. Portland closed to within 8 points at one point here in the 3rd quarter, but the Wildcats have stretched it out to 14 with 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd. Cochran gets the tip ball, can't convert.
Good looks, not getting the drop.
Walker goes into Lee, who is camped out in the lane. Cleared herself a little space.
Yeah, just totally legal. She's just strong. Then you see her strength. We talked about that at the beginning of the game. She's strong, she's physical. She keeps her game simple.
Ananiev missing that one. Almost got her hand on the ball, though. She's a very active freshman for Portland. And Sundell misses from 3. Kansas State 4 for 10 from beyond the arc. Portland really, they haven't had that as part of their game at all today. They're 1 of 11 from beyond the arc, and they've missed their last 6 field goals overall. Dickey, top of the key, and Hamilton there with the rebound.
Yeah, Dickey's just really struggled today scoring.
And a reach-in foul called on Walker, and that will send Portland to the free throw line.
Substitutions for K-State, number 3, Jalen.
And you see Aoka Lee, just big. She doesn't work before she gets there and really stays under control. Just a little turnaround move, gets bumped a little bit, keeps her composure, finishes the shot.
Aoka Lee now in 19 points, just under her average. She averages just over 20 points per game, typically.
They didn't need her a lot in the first 2 quarters, but they've got this quarter going into the fourth. It's a high percentage shot, and they're really looking for her right now.
Ryan Vogel at the free throw line for the Pilots. She makes the second. It was the 3rd foul on Ziona Walker. And Eliza Maupin going to check in for Aoka Lee to give her a breather. Remember, Aoka Lee had ankle surgery earlier this season, was out for 6 games, came back for a game, went double overtime against Iowa State, had to take off the next game. But she's been back the last 6 games, but sometimes those extra rests are important for Lee. Meek from 3. Second three-pointer of the game for Portland, and then they set up their defense and knock it out of bounds.
Well, their defense, and they know exactly where each other, where they are, and so they kick back to Meek for a wide open shot off the turnover.
Jeff Mittie looking on, his team with 12 turnovers, a lot of them against the pressure defense of Portland.
No.
Taryn Sides, the freshman, into the game, hounded by Meek in the backcourt. Almost stolen away. And there's really no difference, maybe 0.2 of a second between the game clock and shot clock. So Kansas State going to try to take the last shot of the 3rd quarter. Sides gets the handoff, and then they call the illegal screen on Sanchez with 3.6 seconds remaining.
I don't. The handoff. She's extended her arms.
So it's an offensive foul, so Portland doesn't go to the free throw line. Burnham in traffic, throws it up. No.
Oh.
Good attempt for Portland as the quarter comes to a close. Portland trying to keep it close. They tied Kansas State 17-17 in the quarter, trying to hang in there. They're within striking distance. Women's Championship continues Saturday on ABC and ESPN, 1 o'clock Eastern. Jackson State versus UConn at 2:15. Kent State versus Notre Dame, and then coming up, Holy Cross at Iowa. Everyone looking forward to seeing what Caitlin Clark may do in the NCAA tournament. Texas A&M Corpus Christi versus #1 seed USC. All games are on the ESPN app, so you can watch them anywhere. And we're in our first round game in Regional 2 in Albany. The winner of our pod will advance and play potentially Iowa in the Sweet 16. Remember, this Kansas State team beat Iowa earlier this year. They also lost on a neutral court. Kansas State up 57-45 as we start the 4th quarter here in Manhattan. And Ananiev with a bucket to close it within 10. And Holly, remember, Kansas State was up 25-10 after the first quarter. They led by as many as 20, but Portland has made it tough on them. Good passing through the press this time for K-State.
Yeah, it all starts with Portland's defense, and they settled in. They missed a couple of shots they normally will hit, but they've scored off their defense, and they've just caused a lot of havoc for the Wildcats, bringing the ball up the floor and doing a great job of taking better high percentage shots.
That one gets away from Hamilton, a little too strong of a pass. Kansas State led in scoring by Serena Sundell with 13, Gabby Gregory with 12, and Aoka Lee leading all of them with 19 as Dickey picks up the foul. Well, here are today's star stories brought to you by Honda, as Aoka Lee leading the way, as I mentioned, with 19 points. Sundell with 13. Burnham leading the way for the Pilots, 11 points, 8 rebounds, closing in on a double-double.
Kansas State doing a great job of just being patient.
Aoka Lee isn't on the court right now. She scored 11 of the 17 points for Kansas State in the third quarter. But when you got a three-point shooter like Gabby Gregory, you don't need Lee on the court right now.
No, you can be patient up to the shot clock going off.
15 points now for Gabby Gregory. Shearer back on the court with the 4 fouls for Portland. Burnham with the nice drive to the basket. Burnham has 13 points now for Portland. Walker behind the back, rises up.
Okay, Walker. Haven't seen that from her today.
Stretches the lead to 15. Step through move, Burnham.
Nice step through. Burnham's really playing well right now.
Keeping Portland in it right now as she's got 15.
And Portland keeps, they're changing up their defense, trying to keep the Wildcats off balance and having to adjust on what they want. I don't think Wildcats want that shot. A little quick, contested three.
Neither Cochran nor Dickey have scored since the first quarter. As they go inside to Burnham, who's having some good fortune. She scored, I believe, the last 6 points for Portland.
Who else? Just keep going to her. She is delivering.
The closest Portland has gotten is 8 points in the third quarter. They are flirting with that single-point deficit right now, and Kansas State has to call a timeout. Maisie Burnham, 6 points in a row for the Pilots as she continues to get things done in the paint. Today will play this game will play the winner of that game on Sunday. Well, now it's time for Get More, brought to you by Geico. As we are in the Regional 2 in Albany, keep in mind, Iowa, the #1 seed. Kansas State defeated Iowa last year without Aoka Lee. They defeated them this year on November 16th in Iowa City. Iowa came back and beat them on a neutral site, but the winner of our pod will advance and play the winner out of Iowa City. And it's interesting because this Kansas State team has played Iowa just about as much as any Big Ten team at this point.
And played them well. And in comes Aoka Lee, which really can dominate the paint against Iowa. But you got to make sure you know where Caitlin Clark is at all times.
At all times.
Even when she's sitting on the bench.
No doubt. Hamilton Hamilton committed the foul, sending Gabby Gregory to the free throw line.
Yeah, they just ran a set play, just rolled Gregory off an Aoka Lee screen, headed to the basket.
Gregory now with 17 points, just behind Aoka Lee with the 19. Dickey with the ball in her hands was the most outstanding player of the West Coast Conference Championship, and she's been held to just 2 points today against Kansas State. And Walker commits the foul. That's her 4th, and it will stop the clock and send Portland to the free throw line. Kiana Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton did a great job of just accelerating to the basket, drawing the foul.
Shearer and Ananiev checking into the game for Portland. As Hamilton at the free throw line. Transfer from Long Beach State. She played 4 seasons there before coming over to Portland. Averaging about 4.5 points a game, but she's had a terrific game today. She has 12 points to go along with a couple of assists.
They just swarm the ball. They just make you play nervous.
Quick shot for Lee, too strong. And they're going to say it's off K-State. Portland basketball, 5:38 remaining. The winner of this game will advance and play the winner of our next game coming up, which is Colorado and Drake. Boy, that's going to be a fun one. Drake with their high-paced offense against Colorado, a team that has 3 wins over top 10 teams this year.
And Colorado spreads the floor. Really, everybody gets involved. So it's going to be a really fun game.
Dickey got that one. Big shot for Portland. And it's single digits again. Meek goes to the floor. Seemed like she got hit in the face. And the officials are going to take a look at that. They are not, they're not going to take a look at it right now, but they made a motion that at the next dead ball, they will go and take a look. As Sundell is fouled by Hamilton. That's her 4th foul. So the foul trouble is piling up right now as Shearer and Hamilton both with 4 fouls and a slew of players with 3 fouls for Portland. Walker has 4 fouls for Kansas State.
Portland's doing a great job. They're making K-State play fast. Little out of control. K-State's just got to move the ball, work what they did. A lot, again, player movement, ball movement, get an easy look.
Go up high
or go
to
inside.
Lee, or go inside.
Yeah, go inside.
As she now has 21 points. Dickey from the corner just hit a 3, missed that one though.
Smart decision, K-State trying to use a little bit of the clock.
Gregory faces up, flashes it home.
You just can't, you got to get up on her. You can't leave her that open for the shot. I know you're playing a little cat and mouse there on defense, but you got to get up and contest her.
Gabby Gregory was all Big 12 honorable mention this year. Her number's not quite as good as last year when she was all Big 12 first team. But Gabby Gregory tying her season high now with the 19 points. Jalen Glenn picked up her 4th foul.
Portland it's almost like they bunch up and then they bunch and then they spread out and you get caught holding and you got to do something because they're getting ready to break free to the basket.
Well, it's been really impressive how this Portland team has hung in here. They were down by 20 early and they have used their defense to stay in this game. They've gotten good shots at the rim, really great performance from Hamilton today with 12 points. Burnham leading the way with 17 points. And they call a timeout here to make sure they're all on the same page on the inbounds play.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Coach Meek's decision. As the game progresses, he's had to change probably his game plan. Wanted to shoot some threes, wanted to go inside the Cochran. It didn't work. So what does he do? He's posting up his guards. He's driving more to the basket, and he's cutting this lead. And it started as they always do on the defense. They've been really solid pressuring the ball and swarming the ball through the whole court.
That's a great summary, and it's just how Portland has stayed in this game. Inbounds play and one opportunity. That turns out to be a great timeout for Portland as they pick up the foul on Lee. That's 2. And Burnham, who has been so good today, now has tied her season high with 19 points and will have an and one opportunity.
It's just a lot of cuts and it's confusion. And I tell you, if you're a coach and you want to learn some new out of bounds plays, just check this game out, because Portland has scored a bunch out of bounds. If they haven't scored, Brenda, they've gotten great looks.
Burnham misses that free throw. That would have cut it within 10. Under 4 minutes remaining in this game. And a foul on Burnham. That's her third. That's her fourth foul. And Cochran checking back into the game.
Gosh, they missed Walker wide open in the lane.
Ten on the shot clock.
Good job of being patient.
Gregory short on that three-point attempt. Hamilton trying to push. Burnham ducks underneath and scores.
They just know where everybody is.
Single-digit game again. Portland has cut it within 9.
It's really key for the Wildcats. Keep your dribble. Don't pick up the ball.
Kick out. Gregory gets it from Lee. And Lee points at Gregory with a big smile.
That felt like a sigh of relief for this K-State crowd.
Gabby Gregory with 22 points on the afternoon. And a whistle and a foul before that shot. And that's on Serena Sundell. That's just her first.
Portland, they do a great job, the guards cutting down and then face cutting and getting that's why they're getting the fouls from behind. They're just face cutting and really posting up deep in the lane.
Okay, so they have just come over to
review to see if the shooter was in her motion prior to the illegal contact.
There we go. We had one of the officials coming over to tell us that, but we love the push to talk where the officials can tell you themselves. Right. So they're going to see if the foul was committed before the shot was taken. And it looks like it. Sundell pushes. And watch the official as Sundell commits the foul here. She puts up her hand, but it looked like Cochran was in her shooting motion.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see that the ball's out of her hand. Right.
So the whistle and the foul.
After review, the ruling on the floor is confirmed. She was not in her shooting motion prior to the illegal contact, therefore the field goal is no good.
All right, so we appreciate Michael McConnell explaining that, confirming that she was not in her shooting motion before the foul was committed. Burnham has scored 10 points for Portland here in the fourth quarter, but Gregory has counteracted that with 10 of her own here in the fourth. And another whistle and a timeout this time for Portland because they were in danger of getting a 5-second count.
Yeah, Jeff Mitty did a great job on the timeout. He took somebody off the ball and put them in the lane so they couldn't have a misdirection and pass on the weak side. Great decision.
So Michael Meek gathering everyone around him. This team won a close game over Gonzaga in the WCC tournament, a 67-66 win. They'd beaten Santa Clara by just 2 points in the semifinals, and they have kept this one within striking distance, but they've got some work to do, down 12 here as we take a look at our reset. Both teams have used their timeout, so only one timeout left for each team. Possession arrow in favor of Kansas State. Burnham, who already has a season high, dishes it off to Cochran for the score.
Nice, just penetrate and then kick out. Set play, very nicely done. So K-State just spread the floor, use the clock. They still got to get shots off, got to get a good shot, but they want this clock to run down to about under 10, and then they'll decide what they're going to do.
Lee has been kicking out a lot this quarter. This time, Walker can't convert. And Shearer pushes it up. They go inside to Cochran. Aoka Lee with the block.
Yeah, solid defense. I like their sending Cochran off screens, but Lee did a great job of walling up and blocking the shot.
Kansas State going to try to use the entire shot clock once again, as the winner of our game will advance and play the winner of Colorado and Drake coming up next. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Walker right at the shot clock buzzer.
Love it. That's how you use the shot clock.
Hamilton missing that one. Hamilton closing in on the last minutes of her career, the grad transfer from Long Beach State. Lucy Cochran and Kennedy Dickey also playing their last games for Portland. As Kansas State just content to hold on to the ball as long as they can and splash in another three-pointer from Serena Sundell. A timeout called by Michael Meek. But Kansas State with the 15-point lead as they have used the clock masterfully the last couple of minutes. And now for our Capital One rewarding performance, Gabby Gregory having a season-high 22 points today, Holly.
Yeah, she's not in a slump anymore. She's done a heck of a job. She scored on the inside. She shot threes. She's made it look easy. She's attacked the glass. Who do they find? They seem to find Gregory when they need a bucket, and she keeps delivering.
And it was a beautiful shot there. That was a key shot as Aoka Lee continued to get double team, and Gregory there to put it in. You see the 7 of 13 from the field. She's also made 3 three-pointers in this game, and a season high with 22 points for the transfer from Oklahoma. Last year, she transferred here. She transferred here, Holly, so she could play with Aoka Lee. And Aoka Lee was out with a knee injury all last year. So when Gregory and Aoka Lee had their senior day here, they both got pretty emotional about this season together.
Well, if I'm a guard, I want Aoka Lee on my team because it's going to get me open looks.
Shearer with the bucket. And a timeout by Jeff Mitty so that he can advance the ball up the court. As we mentioned, the last game for Kennedy Dickey, Kiana Hamilton, as well as Lucy Cochran, players that have really contributed to this Portland team. Kennedy Dickey, she transferred over from San Francisco and contributed in double figures to this team, was the WCC tournament MVP. She's had a tough day today, but boy, has she been a big part of what Portland has done this year. Lucy Cochran, we've talked about, the 6'6" shot blocker, number 3 in the country in block shots, the career shot blocking leader for Portland. And Kiana Hamilton, another one of those transfers, transferred from Long Beach State this year and comes off the bench in that backup point guard position. Boy, she has had a terrific day, 12 points for the Pilots.
You thought at the beginning of the first quarter that the Pilots were going to get blown out, and they just kept fighting. It shows the heart, it shows the grit, it shows the style of play this team has, and well, they've been fun to watch, and they have competed. They've been in this game, and they did a great job on defense.
And Meek bumps into Serena Sundell. I don't think Portland was really trying to foul there, but Meek commits the foul. And you know, Lucy Cochran from Melbourne, Australia, just has had a terrific career. She started her career in Oregon and then transferring over, has been such a big part of this Portland squad. One of the 6 people from Australia or New Zealand that has been a real pipeline, not only for Portland, but for the West Coast Conference.
I wouldn't mind going on a recruiting trip to New Zealand, Australia.
That'd be all right. Maybe you can talk to Coach about that.
That means I have to work.
You're enjoying your time at the beach a little too much. Sundell misses both free throws. But she had a great start to this game for Kansas State. That one goes over the backboard for Emmy Shear, and now Mogul coming into the game. Lainey Spear along with Burnham to give Dickey a chance to come out of this game. Emmy Shear and Burnham with the hugs on the sideline. What a game for Maisie Burnham as she led the way with 21 points for Portland. And even when it looked bleak early for Portland, down 20, they scrapped and made it a close game. But Kansas State, hold on. There was a whistle before time expired. The officials coming together. They might, but they're going to say no, game over. So Kansas State with the victory here on their home court, advancing the number 4 seed to the second round, and they will play the winner of Colorado and Drake coming up next.
Yeah, well, a great win for K-State. Able to understand how to break the press, how to handle pressure. Portland just kept battling and fought really hard to the very end.
The handshakes, a lot of respect. Portland came in here and gave it their all, representing the West Coast Conference extremely well, pushing Kansas State. But it's the Wildcats, the number 4 seed, advancing on here in Regional 2 in Albany. They will play on Sunday. Times to be determined. The winner of the Colorado-Drake game coming up here at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN News.